United States government. In 2008, we finally catch up to the MCU as it happens. Tony Stark is demonstrating his newest weapons in the Middle East when he's kidnapped by a terrorist organization called the Ten Rings, in what will eventually be revealed as a plot by Sting to get Tony out of the picture. While he's in prison, the terrorists force him and another captive, Dr. Ho Yinsen, who was also at that fateful 1999 convention in Bern, to make weapons for them. Instead, Tony is able to recreate a miniaturized arc reactor, using it to stabilize a piece of shrapnel that's lodged near his heart.
It's impossible. Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a bunch of scraps.
The reactor also powers the Iron Man, a suit of weaponized armor built from scrap, which allows Tony to escape after Yinsen's death. He returns to America, eats a cheeseburger, refines his design, and wipes out the Ten Rings in a brutally effective display of the Iron Man's weapons. He also defeats Sting, who attempts to kill Tony and creates his own massive suit of powered armor. Tony then publicly reveals his identity.
I am Iron Man.
Which causes Nick Fury to approach him about the Avengers Initiative. Around the same time as Tony's capture, Dr. Bruce Banner is working on recreating the Super Soldier program. Instead of Erskine's Vita Rays, he uses gamma radiation, testing it on himself and turning himself into a rampaging green monstrous Hulk whenever he gets angry, which is always. After the Hulk inadvertently injures Banner's girlfriend Betty Ross, he attempts to go underground but returns to America in search of a cure for his condition. He winds up dealing with a scientist named Samuel Stearns, whose attempt to recreate the Hulk turned Special Forces soldier Emil Blonsky into the monstrous abomination.
Your team can get more done by doing less, like less busy work, less level setting, less looping in and circling back, with fewer bottlenecks and almost zero holding patterns. Find out how at asana.com. That's ASANA.
6 months after revealing his identity publicly, Tony Stark is called to testify before Congress because they are justifiably concerned about a private citizen building a suit of armor that can vaporize a tank. To create their own version, they turn to rival weapons manufacturer Justin Hammer. After Tony's friend, Colonel James Rhodes, delivers a prototype Iron Man suit, Hammer and Russian scientist Anton Vanko reverse engineer them into an army of militarized drones. Stark also gets a new personal assistant who is revealed to be S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and Red Room defector Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. Rhodes gets his own suit of armor, codenamed War Machine, and he and Tony team up to defeat Vanko and Hammer. Speaking of hammers, while all this is happening on Earth, there's other stuff going on in the Golden Realm of Asgard. Loki tricks Thor into antagonizing the Frost Giants against Odin's orders. As a consequence, Odin exiles Thor to Earth and enchants his hammer Mjolnir.
Whoever holds this hammer, if it be worthy, shall possess thousands.
It lands in New Mexico, where Agent Coulson discovers it, and a bunch of locals try to yank it out of the ground with pickup trucks. Thor eventually proves himself worthy, regains his hammer, and stops Loki from staging a coup in Asgard. In 2011, the crashed hydroplane is discovered in the Arctic. S.H.I.E.L.D. thaws out Captain America, and after realizing that he's in the 21st century, he teams up with Nick Fury's Avengers Initiative. It turns out he was just in time. In 2012, Loki, last seen